All study abroad aspirants, especially those who want to study a master's in the US, ask themselves at least once during the process, is it better to study an MS in US or should I consider an MS in Canada? Particularly with the recent layoffs in many US tech companies, students are also concerned with this question. So in this video, let's look at an MS in US and an MS in Canada comparatively against 10 important factors, which include the admission process, post-study work options, as well as PR. Let's start with the entry requirements. Both USA and Canada have similar requirements for international students, such as a bachelor's degree, documents like an SOP or an LOR, and test scores. The difference between the two lies in the range of acceptance. Compared to US universities, Canadian universities have slightly stricter admission requirements, especially the top universities. This could be in the form of higher GPA, having no backlogs, having higher English proficiency test scores, etc. It may also be true for changing majors or switching majors. All of these factors are comparatively more relaxed in the US due to the wide variety of options available in terms of universities. Of course, it also depends on other factors such as practical work experience, research experience, etc. So when it comes to entry requirements, US gets 1 point in our comparison table. Next, we have to discuss course and university selection. While both countries offer very high quality education, the US wins this round again. This is again simply because of the vast variety of options available to international students in terms of universities. For example, if you take a look at QS World University Rankings for 2023, you will notice that there are over 200 universities in the US, whereas there are only 30 such options in Canada. Similarly, another factor to consider is also competition. If you look at the number of Indian students applying to the US versus Canada, in 2022, the US Embassy issued 1,25,000 visas for Indian students, whereas similarly, the Canadian Embassy issued 2,26,450 visas for the same year. While one could argue that the rate of acceptance is probably higher for Canadian student visas, it is also true that the competition and volume of applicants is much higher. So based on these two factors, we'll add one more point to the US. Now, if you're curious to know what some of the top universities and top courses are for US and Canada, we have an interesting statistic for you. Yocket is India's largest study abroad community, and we have over 1 million study abroad aspirants on the platform. Based on this, here's a look at the top universities and courses that students are shortlisting for US and Canada. Yocket Pro Tip. If you'd like to find what the different university options are for your specific course in US or Canada, then check out Yocket's Explore tool. You can filter them not just for country or course, but also for factors like GRE waived, things like that. I'm linking the tool in the description below. Check it out and let us know. Number 3, admission process. Both US and Canada have similar admission procedures in the sense that they have the same requirements. This includes your university transcripts, documentation like your statement of purpose and letters of recommendation, test scores, and resume. Thus, they are equally time consuming. But one could argue that the Canadian application fees is lower due to the exchange rate. Also, in terms of GRE, both countries offer waivers. So in this round, we will not award any points to either US or Canada because it's even. Coming next to an important factor, tuition fees and living expenses. Canada definitely takes the cake for this one. While most US universities may charge anywhere between $20,000 to $50,000 for a STEM course, the same in Canada costs anywhere between 10,000 to 30,000 Canadian dollars depending on the province and university. Since the Canadian dollar is about 20 rupees cheaper as compared to a US dollar at the time of making this video, you can definitely have significant savings over the long run. So let's add 1 point for Canada in the points table. If you'd like more information on application procedures, tuition fees, course options, etc., then check out our country guides for USA and Canada that I've linked in the description below. Number 5, student visa process. Be it the F1 visa or the Canadian study permit, both countries have very similar procedures and processes in terms of documentation and interview. However, anecdotally have told us that the Canadian study permit process is less stressful as compared to the US F1 visa, because they pay more attention to your documentation. However, we'd like to clarify that visa processes in general have to be taken seriously and done with due diligence. So in this round as well, we will not give any points either to Canada or the US. Let's move on to the next one, internships. As an international student, internships are a valuable way to gain practical experience as well as build your professional network. While both countries offer opportunities for internships, the main difference lies in the structure and ease of getting one. In the US, as part of your F1 visa, you can work up to 40 hours full-time when the school is not in session, that is during the summer break. This is usually a time when students apply and get internships and are usually also paid well. While there is a student career center to help you with the process, for example, looking through your resume or prepping you for interviews, it is ultimately not mandatory and hence depends on your individual motivation, creativity, and is thus your responsibility. Whereas in Canada, many universities offer what's known as co-op programs, which allow you to study and work intermittently through the course. These universities have a dedicated co-op center that also have an approved list of companies that they are partnered with. Of course, this doesn't guarantee an internship and still depends on your ability to impress the employers. Very similar to a placement center in Indian universities. But it definitely helps to have this support. In some universities, the co-op work terms are actually mandatory for you to graduate the course. Thus, it gives international students the opportunity to add practical work experience while studying. So, we'd like to give this point to Canada. Number 7, employment opportunities. While both US and Canada have strong job markets, the availability of jobs varies depending on the job role, industry, sector, as well as location. In general, the US has a larger job market and a diverse economy, thereby providing more opportunities for people from various fields. If you would like to know the highest paying jobs for your courses, particularly STEM courses, then check out a video that we created earlier on top 25 highest paying jobs in STEM. So it goes without saying that this round belongs to the US. Number 8, the weather. Since Canada is further north as compared to the US, the region is more prone to colder temperatures and snowy climates. It is also prone to extreme weather events like blizzards or ice storms, though the western part of Canada is relatively milder. In comparison, the US offers a wide variety of climates to choose from. It could be hot and humid in south and southeastern states like Arizona, Texas, Florida, Georgia, etc., or cold and snowy in the northeast like New York or Midwest like Minnesota. So if you have trouble adjusting to extreme weather or are prone to falling sick regularly, then this is an important factor to consider. So we'll give this point to the US. Post-study work options. In terms of post-study work options, the US offers optional practical training or OPT period where you can stay back in the country and work for up to 12 months for non-STEM courses and up to 3 years for STEM courses. Whereas Canada offers a post-graduation work permit which allows you to stay back in the country for 3 years and find a job regardless of your field. This is a huge benefit to students who want to study non-STEM courses like nursing, journalism, psychology, etc. Obviously, this round goes to Canada. And last but not the least, PR. If you've done some research on studying abroad or have spoken to friends and relatives, you already know which country offers better PR options. But let me give you some more context. The road to PR in the US for international students is through the OPT period, where at best they can work for 3 years if they've done a STEM course. Each year during the OPT, students apply for what's called the H1B visa. The H1B visa is a work permit awarded to foreign workers each year through the lottery system and has 85,000 openings. This process is highly competitive as the number of applications exceeds 300,000 each year for a mere 85,000 spots. Once you get a H1B visa, the next renewal is after 3 years, though sometimes it can be extended to up to 6 years. In the meantime, most foreign workers apply for a green card while on their H1B visa. Again, this process is lengthy, time-consuming and requires patience. There are many accounts of people who have received their green card only after 10 to 15 years of landing in the US. On the flip side, Canada offers many pathways for permanent residency to international students. The most popular one is the Express Entry system, where you can apply for permanent residency once you've completed your master's degree and have 3 years of skilled work experience. Unlike the US lottery system, this is a points-based system where you will be assessed on various factors like age, work experience, education, English language proficiency, etc. The highest scoring applicants are thus invited to apply for permanent residency. As you can tell, this is much faster than the US and a more lucrative options for students who want to permanently settle abroad. So this round goes to Canada. As you can see, both US and Canada offer competitive advantages across various factors when it comes to studying masters abroad. Ultimately, it depends on your individual circumstances, goals and preference as to which country is actually better for you. For example, if your goal is to experience the quality of education abroad, research opportunities and work in a global environment, then the US is definitely a superior choice. But if you're interested in relocating and settling abroad and cost is also a major factor, and you have the profile for it, then Canada may be a more suitable choice. As always, we hope this video was useful for you, and if so, please like, share and subscribe. If you have any more questions related to studying in the US or Canada or any other countries, then drop them in the comments below or check out our website where we have extensive resources for studying abroad in each country and each course. But until I see you next time in another video, this is Shruti signing off. Ta-da!